the chorus of bagpipes, the flag-draped casket, the grieving families, friends, and fellow officers leaning on one another for support. These are the sights and sounds of an all-too-familiar scene that has played out more than 100 times each year since 1944, the funeral of a fallen officer. Each time an officer is killed in the line of duty, it represents an unspeakable loss for the community, fellow officers, and the family left behind. What is even more tragic is that many of these deaths are in fact preventable. While it is well known that law enforcement officers have one of the most dangerous jobs in the U.S., an officer's behavior should not be among the associated risks. It was this mindset that led FirstNet Learning to begin work on the Below 100 online course. Based on the nationwide initiative to reduce preventable law enforcement deaths to below 100 annually, FirstNet Learning has produced an innovative online course aimed at changing law enforcement culture and saving lives. The Below 100 course focuses not on lecturing officers on the aspects of their job that require improvement, but instead strives to create a culture of safety and change through the sharing of stories and experiences of fellow officers. The course was originally delivered as a 4-hour instructor-led course in which law enforcement officers shared their personal stories, listened, and reflected on how their own actions have an impact on their lives, as well as those of their families, partners, and community. In order to simulate and capture the emotional impact of the classroom course, the online course first asks the officer to think about themselves and the important people in their life. This information is entered into the course interface by the officer and utilized by the course to provide personalized feedback to the officer as the course progresses. As the officer learns about Below 100 through video testimonies, practical application scenarios, and personal risk assessments, the officer is then asked to reflect on the potential impact of his or her behavior if they choose not to follow safe practices, such as by identifying the person who would be responsible for paying for and planning their funeral. This serves to immerse the officer in an immediate translation of the course content to their real life. Not only does the online Below 100 course simulate the classroom version of the course, it also simulates real situations and relationships in each officer's own life. Throughout the course, the officer is asked to identify behaviors that they should start doing, such as having courageous conversations with peers. Stop those behaviors that could have negative impact. Continue doing what they are already doing well. And finally, change those behaviors that need to be improved. This immediate feedback clarifies what the officer is learning from the course and significantly increases the impact of their learning by making the content personal, making it lead directly to action, and tying personal applications of course content directly to the training objectives of the course. At the completion of both online and classroom Below 100 training, all officers receive and sign a Below 100 pledge. The online version provides the officer with a printable copy of their personal pledge, which brings together all of the information gathered during each personal risk assessment in the course to remind the officer about the impact of their behavior and the effects on their family, friends, and community. Again, learning objectives are translated directly into concrete, personalized, actionable feedback. The simulated classroom environment and the simulated real-life scenarios have impacted each officer in an individualized manner. This online training is unique. No other online training exists for the Below 100 program. As a result, this innovative, simulation-based course is working to save officer lives by providing training to officers who are unable to attend a classroom Below 100 session due to staffing, travel, and budgetary limitations. This simulation is not just impacting learning, it is impacting individuals and the family and friends they go home to at the end of their shift. Brought to you by Denver-based FirstNet Learning and the Below 100 Initiative.